Hello and welcome to the second race here at Daytona. This time we're on the road course where Martin Truex Jr. has found his way to the pole. Teammate Denny Hamlin on his outside. Qualifying order will be on your left there. Chase Elliott, though, might be the story, starting in third. Quite an impressive streak going on road courses, and with a good qualifying lap, it will be a shock if he doesn't find his way to the lead or to the front some point during this race. We'll be using the front stretch chicane today. It's the new chicane added for NASCAR last year in 2020. There's your format there. 5, 6, and 8 laps. Fuel will not be an issue, so pit stops are unlikely. Martin Truex Jr. brings him to the green and gets the second race of the season underway. Truex with a lot of momentum. Remember, he led the most laps in the Daytona 500 and got shuffled to 11th late, so trying to capitalize on an opportunity to make up for what he could not get done last week and win a race here. Starting up front, Chase Elliott right away cycles to second, and hanging right in there with Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, his teammate, in third there. And right away, this is the first lap and everyone's already spread out. Not a single two-wide battle into the backstretch chicane. And now into the front stretch chicane, and this is where the problems will be today. Really difficult corner to get through, and massive curves there, and you see everybody hopping over those curves trying to make the time they can. Harvick gets loose, Bowman gets loose. That will be the theme today as guys go over those curbs. Martin Truex Jr. would continue to lead into lap 2, coming through the infield here. The infield would be his strong point. He could usually pull at least 2 or 3 car lengths on Chase Elliott through the infield. Elliott would struggle but make up in the braking zones through the chicanes. Talking about one of our rookies here, maybe the only rookie if I can remember rightly, Chase Briscoe in the 14. Expected to be good on road courses after his Xfinity season last year, and qualified well and is running 8th early. A good start for the 14. The second best SHR car today behind Kevin Harvick, his teammate, in 6th. So good things for Chase Briscoe, which isn't shocking. Kyle Larson here, we're going to ride along. He's running in 3rd. You can see Chase Elliott up in front of him as we head towards this front stretch chicane. Elliott got through okay last time, but misses it a little bit in too deep and over the curb, gets really loose. That's going to give Larson a big run. But he chooses to just ride behind his teammate, doesn't really make a move with it, although if he wanted to, he probably could have tried. You see Larson there just filing in behind the 9 car and letting Chase continue to work on Martin Truex Jr. Though Denny Hamlin is closing, Larson might have to increase the urgency soon if he doesn't want to get passed by Denny Hamlin there. Hamlin through the front stretch chicane again. You see Elliott really aggressive. Larson even more aggressive. Saw him get really loose there before the camera cut away. And when we come back, Denny Hamlin under the yellow line, that's totally legal on the road course, making the move on Kyle Larson, scaring the orange cones down there. Hamlin would work his way to the inside and really wouldn't be a challenge down here. Able to draw alongside, and Larson forced to give the spot, and in the process Brad Keselowski uses momentum to get on by the 5 car as well, move the 11 to 3rd, 2 to 4th. Following Ryan Blaney here and over the curves, and Ryan Blaney goes for a spin after crashing in the 500 last week. Not the best start. Blaney kind of struggling in 2021. Buescher spins behind him there, as does Brennan Poole. Those curves are really being a nuisance. That would not bring out a caution, but it was the last lap of the stage, so the leader's racing back. We're following Chase Elliott in 2nd because really not much to see up front. Truex has an over 2-second lead and has been a ½ second faster the last few laps, so nothing to look for. You saw Elliott there really struggle to get a good run out of the backstretch chicane, and that let Denny Hamlin close up. We'll see if Denny can do anything with it. Denny about a car length behind here. Elliott over the curves and a little deep into the chicane again. Jumps that big curb and somehow manages to get the throttle down in the process, and he'll beat Hamlin to the line for 2nd. Meanwhile, Truex far and away wins the stage. No challenge whatsoever. That car has speed, but we'll see if Elliott can find something to challenge the 19 car throughout this race. Coming back to the green here, no pit stops needed, and no one came down, except for a few cars with damage from spins. We'll take the green here, and you see right away Kevin Harvick back there in 6th, jumping out on Kyle Larson. Makes it too wide straight away. While Truex pads about a 2-car length jump on the start and really has no pressure through the infield. See Kevin Harvick working on Kyle Larson here. Larson just doing nothing but going backwards. Not a good day for Larson. We've kind of seen this, especially at Sonoma, where he'll qualify very well and then fall back. Riding along with Martin Truex Jr. here, looking back at Chase Elliott. As we come into the chicane, you can see how Elliott sort of gains under braking, like I was saying, and gets to the center of the corner, and this is where Truex really kills him. You see Elliott kind of shake the tail there through the center. Truex applies the throttle and gets away easy and puts 2 or 3 car lengths on him every chicane. Denny Hamlin there got a little too much curb and let Brad Keselowski go by. It was a sketchy corner for Denny, missed his marks, and Brad takes advantage of it and moves to 3rd. We'll see if he can chase down Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr. So far, no one has been able to keep up with the 9 and the 19, and really, the 19's been in a league of his own. But Chase Elliott finding something here. 19 gets a little bit loose on the throttle, and Elliott's going to be able to close up. We're a couple laps to go in stage 2, so if Elliott could get by, he could turn it into a stage win. Elliott looking as we go down into the front stretch chicane, and Chase not able to do anything under braking, just following Truex. Truex a little bit wide, but jumps that curve, gets the throttle down, and Elliott cannot hang with him. About a car length difference still. Could possibly try a move into turn 1, but it's pretty far back, and Elliott will just fall in line. And that could have been his best opportunity of the race so far, but just could not get there. Unfortunate chance for Elliott, but Truex continuing to be really strong. That 19 car is not easy to get by. They've been good on road courses in the past, and it seems like they might have found something again this year to get back by Elliott, who's won, I think, the last 4 road course races. Through the infield, Truex just obliterating Elliott. Look back at some of the guys running mid-pack. Bubba Wallace, we were wondering where this 23XI team would run. Running 13th, just outside the top 10, is not bad, and showing some steady improvement from his last year running. And speaking of last year, the car he vacated, Eric Jones, running in 15th, actually 5 spots ahead of Christopher Bell in the 20. So a great run right now for Eric Jones in the 43 car. And following Ryan Blaney again, and the day just keeps going downhill. He was running in the mid-20s and now falls to the 30s after another spin. Quinn Houff would also spin behind him, and that would spark a big wreck and a caution. Although it doesn't matter because we're still going to have to race back to the stage break. The leaders were already on the last lap of the stage, and Chase Elliott a little bit closer, perhaps within striking distance this time. About a 0.7 of a second, but really Truex would not have to worry. Just sort of coast through the last corner there, don't push too hard, and he would take stage 2. Sweeping the stages here, so certainly be a disappointment not to win this race after dominating it the way he has. And looking at the replay, you can see Blaney just misses his mark again and spins on that same chicane. And Quinn Houff, perhaps in panic because of the spinning Blaney car, makes a mistake and gets sideways, and everyone else piles in. Tough break for Chris Buescher there, who lost his track position early and then ended up in that wreck. Coming back to the green here, not much has changed up front. No pit stops were had. And Martin Truex Jr. brings him down to the green, and Kevin Harvick, just like last time, super aggressive, already to the inside. He's going to get a great run and pass 2 cars before we get to turn 1. Working on Brad Keselowski now, and that will be for 3rd. Kevin Harvick showing some serious speed right now, and that's kind of shocking. Rodney Childers has kind of struggled to get him the setup he needs on road courses in the past, but he might have the car today. Not able to get the run out of turn 1. Keselowski will get that spot back, but I think Harvick showed his hand. He might have something here. We'll have to watch that 4 car as we come through the infield here. And looking up to the front stretch chicane, the same lap, Harvick just talking about how good he was running, gets loose under braking, spins in front of Brad Keselowski, and everyone piles in. Hamlin damaged, Keselowski in trouble, Bowman, Harvick, really, that car is destroyed, still wrecking in the back. Big trouble on the front stretch, and you can see Kevin Harvick not going to take it to the garage just yet, but that car is in some serious trouble. Our 500 winner looked like he had a car capable of racing for the win and maybe going for 2 in a row, but not quite gonna happen. Look at the replay, you can see that car just hook right under braking, and Brad Keselowski could have done nothing different to get out of that. unfortunate for the two, who was also running well. Everyone piled in, and then Corey LaJoie and Ryan Preece spin behind. Riding along with Brad Keselowski, you can see the 4 car just come flying into the frame right in front of the 2. Almost upside down for Keselowski, and then watching everybody pile drive each other. And insult to injury, Ryan Blaney once again hits that curb after the caution's out and finds the wall, tears up the right rear of the car. Blaney has got to be wondering when this race will end. He's got to be tired of it by now. Coming back to the restart here, Truex leading Chase Elliott, and the scene at the front has changed quite a bit. Kyle Busch, who was running almost outside the top 10, is now 3rd. Guys like Austin Dillon are in the top 5. Quite a lot of opportunities through the back here to gain some good finishes after a uncharacteristic big one on a road course. Martin Truex Jr. will lead them down in the turn 1. Elliott hanging within a car length this time, slightly better. They're already 3 wide back there with William Byron, Austin Dillon, and I think Eric Almirola. And talking about Kyle Busch, this has got to be good confidence for a guy running 3rd at a track that frankly chewed him up and spit him out last year. I don't remember how many cautions he was a part of at this race last year, but it was not good. So a positive change for Kyle Busch. And Austin Dillon running an RCR car here that likely is the same one Kaz Grala had last year that finished 7th. So you expect the car to be good, but Dillon has struggled on road courses. So positive improvement for Austin Dillon, finding his way to 6th right now. Started 5th on the restart. A good run for that 3 car, and maybe some road course improvement. Riding along with Elliott here with a couple laps to go, and Martin Truex Jr. is quite a ways away. You can see how much Elliott can close in the braking zones, but Truex is to the throttle a little bit better most of the time there through the chicane, and Elliott just really struggling to keep with the 19 as we come to get the white flag here, and it has to be surrender for the field to Martin Truex Jr. A dominant performance so far, and all he has to do is put together one more lap, but it is a long 3.5-mile road course with a lot of treacherous corners. Speaking of treacherous, Chase Elliott slides into the horseshoe here and almost off the track in the entry, really wide through the corner, lost a lot of time. Got to be making Truex feel really good to watch the 9 car slide around trying to chase him down. Truex calm and collected, easy back out onto the oval, keeping Chase Elliott about a second behind. Nothing to worry about. Coming into the backstretch chicane, healthy, quite a few car lengths in hand. Hits the first curb but wide, misses the second, misses the third curb as well. Late to the throttle, and Elliott's gonna close. Elliott 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths. Chase Elliott coming. He's gonna get a chance at the 19 car in the final chicane. Will he use the bumper, or will he try and pass him clean? What's he gonna do here? Or will Truex simply outbrake him? And it's the latter. Truex hard on the brakes, manages to get it woed up and make it through the corner. Truex holds on in the last second and gets some redemption from the 500 and wins the Daytona road course. Martin Truex Jr. finally putting an end to Chase Elliott's road course streak. Elliott did not go down without a fight though, right there at the end. And Truex, you can see that laps led number. There have been 79 total laps run, and Truex has led 40 of them. Most laps led in both races, led every lap at the road course here. So a solid start to the season. That 19 car will be a contender this year. Taking a look at the points, you can find Martin Truex Jr. at the top of the board, and a few guys establishing themselves as favorites early. Harvick, Logano, Elliott, Larson putting up some good points. Now at this point in the year, you can usually see some uncharacteristic guys in the top 20. Garrett Smithley, this is the best an Rick Ware racing car has ever been in points after 2 races. Smithley taking care of his 53 and doing a good job. And you can find a few guys who are in some trouble digging a hole early. Blaney, DiBenedetto, Bowman need to get it back together soon to start to make their rally. And that'll be it here from Daytona. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see you all next week in Homestead, Miami.